Welcome to our Form and Function Challenge information session. My name's Joyce Sidopoulos, and I'm the Chief of Operations here at MassRobotics. We're going to start by giving you a little information about MassRobotics for those of you who don't know. MassRobotics is an independent nonprofit organization serving to help advance robotics technology companies by providing startups the resources they need to grow their companies and their businesses. We advocate for policy and tools to help robotics adoption at many levels of government and corporations. We escalate and advance startups by offering them space, access to equipment, design licenses, and cloud services, as well as introductions to everything from talent to capital to partners. And we educate startups about new technologies, business practices, and provide many types of mentorship for all stages of a startup's growth. We receive a lot of support from our partners who are interested in engaging with the robotics ecosystem. One way we support their interests is with running challenges that invite different users groups to work with their components, sensors, software, and solutions. The Form and Function Challenge does just that. This challenge is aimed at academia around the world to show off their projects using a number of our partners' resources. Russell Nickerson is here to share with you more about the challenge, the resources available, and the timeline for this challenge. Russell will be the point of contact for the challenge.
Hi, everybody. This challenge calls for university teams to create a robotics or automation project that delivers a compelling form factor specific to its tasks while accomplishing a useful function. The challenge is open to participants from around the globe and encompasses cross-collaboration between state-of-the-art software and hardware providers, including these MassRobotics strategic partners. Now I'm going to go through a number of the partners listed here. Lattice Semiconductors provides FPGA technology with their solution stack for machine vision cameras. Onshape provides a cloud-based CAD platform. Nano provides 3D printed circuit boards and design reviews. Festo will provide vacuum gripper kits and electrical actuators. Novanta will provide drives, inductive position encoders, and RFIDs. Danfoss will provide remote control and +1 controllers. Analog Devices will provide time of flight sensors. And we will be holding an additional information sessions with representatives from these companies to provide more detailed information on the technology associated with these products. Now, there's going to be maybe some even more technologies that these companies will offer during that information session. So this is an all-inclusive list of what's available, and just to think too about ideas to combine these type of offerings. So for example, if you had a vision system, you could use the Lattice FPGA and design the enclosure in Onshape. If you have a gripper system, you could combine Festo electrical actuators with a Nano 3D printed circuit board. So there's a lot of different ways you can use these offerings. Here's the timeline associated with this challenge. It's a very quick challenge. So applications are open and will close on February 3rd. They're pretty simple. You just need to identify a team lead and describe your project, its function, and which partners' technologies you will be using. We'll announce the finalists selected to move forward on February 10th. These startups will be working with the partners to receive the items they'll be using. There will be a mandatory information session on February 22nd, and at least one member of each university team needs to attend. All the partners will be attending. This is mandatory. This is so you can connect and get all of the equipment that you need and all the assistance from and the points of contact for the partners. We will have a few check-ins prior to the finale to check the status to see if the teams need assistance from partners. By May 5th, the teams will submit a 2 to 3 minute video of their final project. This will be used to help judge as well as shown at the Robotics Summit on May 10th and 11th for summit attendees. At the conclusion of the challenge, teams will have the opportunity to present at the Robotics Summit in Boston on May 10th and 11th, We'll have an area on the floor for teams to showcase their projects, and voting will take place on the floor. For those who cannot attend in person, we will be showing the final videos we received showcasing the projects and the technology used. We cannot provide stipends for travel, unfortunately, but we encourage you to attend. Winners will be announced on the second day of the conference. And we're happy to announce that the first prize is $25,000. The second and third prizes are $5,000 each respectively. And then there will be an audience choice award for $5,000 as well. So a little bit about the judging criteria. Each one of our partners will have input to judging. We'll take into account originality, impact, curability, reliability, use of partner technologies. Does it inspire? Does this impress? Does it solve a problem? And overall execution. We have some of the previous questions now that we received, we'll review, and then we'll open the floor to other questions. Joyce, how about you? Sorry.
Sure. So we're going to go over the questions that we previously received, and then if you have questions, there's a tab on the right-hand side of your control panel, and just drop in those questions there, and we'll read them as we get them. So the first question is, who's eligible to apply for the challenge?
So yeah, teams of any size may apply. So it could be even one person, but they must be affiliated with a college or university.
And what's required for them to showcase at the Robotics Summit?
Yep. So this is kind of, we get this a lot. This question, like, what is this really about? But by purpose, it's a bit broad, but it opens up. You have to make the team's entry should be functioning, and it should look good. So teams you may physically bring your project, size, if it's a, monster truck, please don't bring that, probably not that. But a team can bring a school banner and poster with their project to show it off. And it's going to be on a show floor. So there's going to be a number of attendees and industry experts. It's a great way for networking and also show off what you're working on, what you're capable of.
And are there any size limits to the teams?
Nope. So again, it can be just one person. It's great if you have capstone or you have a group of students working on projects for the next semester, then that should be.
What about IP? How is that going to be addressed? Is that going to be partners? How does that work?
Yeah, so all rights are retained by the teams and schools. Individually, in some cases, there might be some further NDA to discuss with the partners for usage of their equipment. But this is on a case-by-case basis. If you're using some type of prototype thing that they want to try out and you're interested to trying out, then there might be some NDA work. But overall, you retain your IP.
And what's required at the end of the challenge? How do they submit their final project?
Yep, so to be considered for the prize money, you must submit a 2-minute video about the project, its function, and what partner technology was used. And just a quick note here, you can, you should use at least 2 partner technologies, but the more you use, it's actually more beneficial to your overall score. So that's something to consider as well.
And so what if a team can't attend because they're a distance away? What if they can't attend? Is there something they can do to showcase?
So yeah, we will be doing accommodations to be made to display the project without someone present. But again, that will be handled on a case-by-case basis. We're not offering any stipend for the travel, unfortunately, and also there isn't any stipend for the development of the project. But that there will be offerings of the technology from the partners. So also there's no limitation. This doesn't have to be a brand new project. So if it's something you're working on and it just parlays very easily into adding on more functionality or working it, then that's absolutely fine and encouraged actually. So.
And how does one apply?
Yep. So there's a simple form application at the link. I think it's on the screen right now. And you can fill that out. It's just a simple Google form kind of telling you what kind of things you're interested in out of the partners, and then just a basic of what you're developing and contact information. So.
And it looks like we have a question from the someone online.
Yep. So someone says, what should be the main theme of the project? Yeah. So this is like exciting if you're very creative. Maybe not if you aren't. But it's very broad. So it has to be robotics related. So it has to sense, actuate, and compute. However, it could be, you could be making a autonomous wheelchair. You could be making an underwater robot. You could be making a sensor for robotic systems, or some type of new type of 3D printer. It's very, very broad intentionally, because we want to see really interesting stuff that looks cool, that's presentable, and also the partners can kind of get their technology involved with these like cutting edge, interesting projects that the academia is coming up with.
Really, yeah. So it's anything from healthcare to manufacturing to defense,
Yep.
to surveillance to construction, anything that these that university teams are currently working on or that would like to work on. Totally open, as long as it has a nice form and it provides a function.
Yep.
Another question.
No,
Same one.
Yeah.
So we'll stay on for a few more minutes to see if anyone else has questions that come in. Application is pretty simple. Again, you just have to have your team lead, name and contact, so we have ways to get in touch with them. And then a little bit about what your project will do, what function it will perform, and list any of the partners' components, sensors, or software that you're interested in being provided.
Yep. I think there's another question. How would a brand new project judge compared to established project? Equally. So again, the idea is like, so for example, if your lab or your institution's been working on some project for 2 or 3 years developing it, you can also enter this. There's no limitation to that. And there's no extra points or points taken away if it's new or established. So and so because also that the thought behind that too is the timeline of this project is rather tight. So it's only like, I think 2 to 3 months of working time. So to like interface with the partner's technology as part of the requirement, and that's going to take, it's actually pretty quick. So leveraging existing stuff will be beneficial for you.
And again, it doesn't matter if it's old or new, as long as it's using 2 or more of the partners' devices that they're offering for the challenge.
Yep. Another question: is there any limitations on the number of teams projects by a single faculty member? Nope. As long as they're actually, I haven't even thought if there's the same teams. Yeah. You can feel free to enter. We'll ideally probably 1 project per team. So
there should be a different student lead for each one.
Yeah, different student leads.
So you can have a faculty that has many students, and you can have 5 students that are working on 5 separate projects.
Yes.
They can all enter.
Yep. Yeah. And just ideally, we're looking, we're still debating on the capacity of the projects and how many projects we get inbound and how interesting they are. We're looking probably at like 10 selected teams. If there's a lot of stuff that's like very, very compelling and our partners have the bandwidth for that, we might move it up to 20. But so we're looking to select 10 teams on, was it February 3rd, I believe? Yes. Yep. Well, the 10th is the announcement, but the applications close on the 3rd. Another question. Asked this, you might have missed the answer. What are the expectations for the scale of the project? Can you give an example, please? Yep. So the project, so the idea is that the form has to look good. So it's kind of nebulous, right? But it has to be kind of a little bit more polished, have a nice enclosure perhaps, or exterior and visible components. It's not like, wires hanging out of things. So it's a little bit more polished than normal. And then the function has to accomplish a function. So this is the idea of kind of getting students into prototyping, but also kind of seeing how they can make a really good presentation with a prototype of technology. So again, originality, is this, if it is, like, for example, you could be designing a new type of 3D printer. If it's like not doing something novel, that might not be as exciting as if you were, printing in a different way or at angles or on belts or something very creative. Does it inspire? So again, just kind of, when people see your entry, is it, exciting? Again, this will be on a show floor, so not just the judges, but all the attendees of the conference are coming up. People are gonna go, wow, this is like the current technology. I'm really excited, and maybe this could be a product someday and go to market, and I could envision that. And that goes with, does it impress and does it solve a problem? So the other thing, it can be a problem, a very simple problem that's like actually very local or something. You could be like, okay, well, I would like to find a better way to, I don't know, serve people at a
Fish taco place.
A fish taco place. Okay, sure. And you want a robot that makes like tacos efficiently, and you utilize the robot arm that you have, and then you make a custom gripper and you make that solution, and it solves that problem. Or it could be something a lot more like serious, like you could say we're solving a problem like of a medical or what do they call it, the
Tourniquet?
Yeah, a medical solution. What problem does it solve? And not just like, hey, I'm making a cool robot that is cool.
That walks and talks.
I'm sure you can always find a problem that is solving. So, and then impact also, like how much impactful it is. Use of the technologies of our partners, that's a big one that we just love to see, utilizing these current like tech that they're offering. And then also a lot of the partners will be helping kind of with technical assistance with their solutions. And then just some other things like durability, reliability, that kind of goes into a solid prototype, just creating a very solid prototype that overall looks good and works. Again, it seems a bit generic sometimes, but I think the strength of this is that you can say, well, I have like a few capstone students, I have a few teams of people that are working on something interesting and that they want to be working on, right? So a lot of competitions might be like, we're looking at this very specific narrow thing, and that is good and it's addressing direct problems, but this is a very, very interesting way to be creative and kind of see what people are eager to be developing.
And the nice thing about the challenge is at the end, you do get the exposure of being at the Robotics Summit. There are a lot of companies and partners that are there. And so it's a great experience for the students to be at the event itself. And so the slide that we have up now, if you have any questions, you can mail them directly to Form and Function at massrobotics.org. We also have the website up there and the QR code. And the website is up now. You can apply through the website. There's a link on the website to apply. Questions that come in, we will be posting answers in the FAQs as they come in. And we also have this handout available with these slides. If you go to the handout section on the right-hand side of your control panel, you can download the handouts. We'll also have this recording posted on the website. So if you have students that you want to listen and learn more, you can direct them right to the website. Do we have another question?
No, I think let me double check our questions here if we answered them all. Let's see, I see somebody, oh yeah, I saw some more questions here. Yeah, so can I make a team different from university? So we would suggest if there's like individuals, if you maybe graduated, maybe circle back to an alma mater and like kind of get them involved, or feel free to enter anyway as an individual, and if it's a very compelling project, we might consider it. But again, this is primarily focused at academia and kind of projects like that. So and I think, let me see, I think we have one or two more. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think that's everything. Scroll down. Cool. Where's the handouts?
On the right-hand side, there's a gray tab that says handouts. And if you click on the little arrow to the left-hand side of the handouts, you'll see that there's something that you can download there. It's called Form and Function Info Session. It's a PDF.
Yeah, we'll hang out for a minute just for people to grab that. And all this information is going to be on the website as well.
So thank you for attending today, and please feel free to share with your students.
Yep, should be fun. I'm looking forward to. I think everybody's looking forward to see the projects and find an avenue for get them on a showcase. So thank you.